Hello,
Hi
Robert.
there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Areki? I
good.
could hear you. Areki, is that what you call it?
Iraqi. Yes, we did Iraqi. Or I couldn't think. There's another word I was trying to think of.
Not sure.
Yeah, yeah. There is a simple, very, very simple word that is just completely escaping,
Do you know,
escaping.
this is weird seeing myself in glasses, but I've decided that I definitely can see much better with them these days.
Yeah, well, they suit you. I think you could possibly put on a plastic bag and you'd look great, Robert.
I love it when you lie to me.
Nah, someone has to.
So
So,
you're all
Robert,
good? Yes.
I'm I'm excellent. So, thank you so much for coming on to join us here at Design Source Ireland.
My pleasure.
Um, I'm just going to give you a brief introduction. Everybody, this is the gorgeous Robert Ashe. From what magazine? It's after going blank on me again.
Oh,
I know I'm
Ireland's
joking.
Homes, Interiors and Living.
Irish Homes, Interiors and Living.
Yeah, and also Ireland's Kitchen Trade Guide.
Yeah, fantastic. And two excellent publications, if I don't say so myself.
Thank you.
And how long have you been with them?
Interesting story. I was there when I was 21, a young fledgling in the industry. I was there for about 5.5 years. So I'm sort of with magazines for 10 years, but I've recently come back. I say recently, it's about 5.5 years now. So I was a young classified executive back then, and obviously now managing director. So, and I think it would be silly of me not to mention that we have Ireland's Bathroom Trade Guide and Ireland's Kitchen Guide. So we've two trade titles and two consumer titles in total.
That's great. And you're actually very much in the industry, aren't you? You're all over it at the moment, like.
Yeah, very much so. I think the one thing that I would say that the staff are good at is getting very involved with businesses and also, even our front of house Heather, our receptionist, she really is front of house with every phone call that comes through. She's there dealing with the customers, the reader inquiries and so on. So yeah, this and all industries should be about relationship building, and even myself there over the last 3 4 weeks, I've probably been down the whole east coast of Ireland, and just last week over in Sligo, Roscommon, Galway, and Westport. So, you know,
Yeah.
keeping at ground level, making sure we know what's going on out there, speaking to the retailers. And you have to know the good and the bad and the ugly. And I think Ireland's Kitchen Trade Guide itself, that's exactly what it is. It does exactly what it says in the tin. Everything isn't always rosy. Sometimes we have Brexit, we have COVID. All these things shape not only our lives but our jobs, our industries, and
Yeah.
we talk about it all very openly, and I think that's the key to the trade guides. It's not all wonderful and rosy as sometimes the consumer titles can be, but it's
True.
very raw, and it's very good to keep you up to speed with appointments within the industry, and not only that, but new product launches and how to market your business effectively. And
Yeah.
of course, we're here to talk about the awards, obviously on the
Yeah.
back of the trade
Something that
guide.
is beautiful and rosy, and the whole reason why you were traveling up the east and the west coast of Ireland
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
last couple of weeks is because of this awards ceremony that you are doing. Can you tell me and our listeners here, like, exactly what are these awards? And before we go any further,
Yeah, yeah,
some fabulous judges.
exactly. So yeah, and actually, you're obviously mentioned in the most recent issue 79 of Ireland's Kitchen Trade Guide. So yeah, I think it's important to explain how we got to this point and where we are with how the awards came about, how the trade guide came about. So back in '94, obviously we launched Ireland's back then Northern Ireland's Homes, Interiors and Living, and in '98 we went All Ireland. We do reader surveys frequently, and we always ask again, what do you like, what do you dislike about the publications? And top of the list, obviously, for Ireland's Homes and Interiors was always the homes, very much that through the keyhole look. We're nosy. We want to know how somebody has decorated their home. Did they use an interior designer such as yourself, etc., etc. But second to the homes was always the kitchen, and it's been really interesting to watch how the kitchen industry in particular has evolved, I would say. So if you look back to 2001 when we launched Ireland's Kitchen Guide, that was really when, and actually we're looking back at some old issues there. There's some fantastic colour schemes and so on going back then, but people started to knock down walls, open up that space. It wasn't just a cooking space, it was very much a social space, a living space as well. And then further down the line, you had COVID, and that really reshaped it, took it a step further, where all of a sudden that entire space now was multifunctional. You know, it had to be a play area for the kids, it had to be a workspace for people working from home. It was not only a cooking space in there as well, but also socialising as well. We all had our bubbles and those things. You were allowed so many people in the house. So it really has been quite a transformation, and I would say very much, you know, the focal point of most homes now. Years ago, it could have been the fireplace in the living room, you know, and that really is, it's so different now. So kitchens now, even the retailers, they're selling furniture, selling sofas, they're selling stools. More so than ever, it's a great opportunity to show off those showrooms as well, you know, which is obviously part and parcel of one of the categories that we have, and there's 11 in total. So we then obviously launched the trade guide further down the line. I think we're going back to 2006, 2007, and then on the back of that, obviously the awards. So the awards. Sorry, go ahead. What are you going to ask?
No, it's like you're actually answering all the questions that are spinning around in my head, and then you're getting answered them, so it's great. So the awards are the kitchen awards.
Yeah. So I suppose you mean most of the guys will be familiar with the KBB Awards, Kitchen Bedroom Bathroom Awards, over in Birmingham, and the shows and so on. And we still get, you know, the odd retailer that will go over and in fairness do well and win awards, which is great. But once we launched Ireland's Kitchen Trade Awards to celebrate excellence in our own country, a lot of people hadn't had that opportunity before, and you know, we have some fantastic talent here in Ireland, you know, and I think it gives a lot of the retailers and a lot of the designers the opportunity to celebrate excellence on home soil. You know, that's really what it comes down to. And so a lot of people now, they don't have to go across the water, and it's really interesting. I remember when I came back to the magazine, COVID had just happened. When I wasn't long back, only a few months, and we were going to postpone the awards for another year. And sadly, at the time, actually, Mike, our publisher, he had passed away, and there was a few people I wanted to speak to face, and there was one person in particular, and when I was chatting to him, he said, you know, for him, Mike's legacy was the Kitchen Trade Awards, and I thought it was really nice of him to actually sort of, you know, give a nod to Mike when he said it.
Yeah, but and is that why you then came up with the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Mike Keenan?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So, but he followed up by saying that the very first awards was one of the proudest moments of his life, standing in front of his peers, accepting this award. And I'll never forget getting into the car to drive away from that appointment. It was only then it really resonated with me how much the awards really mean to people.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you know, makes sense.
Yeah, so, and for that reason, I actually brought them forward a year, and I brought them back. You know, they're usually a year on organising anyway, but at that time, there was an appetite for it. People had been locked down, and I think everybody was ready for a night out as much as anything else, to be perfectly honest. But, but at the same time, it's interesting because what it's naturally done, and we launched Ireland's Bathroom Trade Awards last year. For instance, I know the next time we do the Bathroom Awards next year, the level of entry will naturally be better because they know what the competition is like, they know what the standard is that's expected, they know exactly what they have to do. And that's such a good thing for the industry. It naturally elevates the industry, and that's exactly what has happened with the kitchen industry due to these awards. And we're very proud of that because You know, I said in our last awards, this isn't our first rodeo. If it wasn't for the likes of you know, staff in the background, the event planners we work with, and you know, the people at the event itself, the staff there, and so on. You know, there's a lot of things in the background that happen to make this work so well. And I have to always give a nod to Suzanne, who has been doing this for so long. She puts a lot of time and effort into it, and making sure that everything runs like clockwork. But there's lots of little things that make a big difference, like the awards themselves. You know, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean, we spent thousands of euros on these awards. Um, you know, they're weighty. They're, you know, they mean something.
Yeah.
You know, they're
You do it right.
we do everything right, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think because it's credible and transparent, that you know, even the guys that become a runner up or a finalist, they use that logo in their advertising,
Yeah.
because even the prestige of being a runner up in these awards, you know, carries a lot of weight.
Yeah. So the next awards now are up in Belfast on the 21st of November.
Friday the 21st of November, yeah, in
Yeah.
the Titanic Suite in Titanic Building, and we've held it there for many of the awards. It always goes down very well. It's a great venue. The guys are great to work with there. We may look at alternating moving forward between you know, maybe Dublin and Belfast. Obviously, we did our IHIL awards in Dublin last year, but
Yeah.
we will look at that moving forward. But we find entrants from Cork, Galway, you know, all over Ireland,
Yeah.
and they make the trip up. And there has never been any complaints, because it really is a good night. Great networking event as much as anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
For the
business
kitchen,
done.
for the kitchen awards, there's 11 categories, correct? Or
There's 11 categories, yeah. So essentially, for anybody who is interested in entering the awards, as much as a great night out, and you know, business opportunities for networking on the night, I would encourage anybody to support the industry with the awards, because that's what it naturally does. But there are 11 categories in total. So the only difference between these awards and the last one is that naturally people are spending a little bit more money. Cost of materials has went up. So we have contemporary design project. It used to be up to 30,000 euros. It's now up to 35,000 euros. And then we have the over award. So project over 35,000 euros. We do the same for classic design. So you've got contemporary and classic under and over. Top retailer, retail showroom of the year. We have supplier of the year, sustainable supplier of the year, innovative product of the year, best use of digital marketing, and then of course our Mike Keenan Lifetime Achievement Award as well. So to register, all you have to do is go on to iktg.ie, and you will get an overview of the awards. It also gives you details of how you can attend the awards if you'd like to purchase seats or a table.
yeah.
Naturally, we offer a discount for tables. Tables have already been booked for the awards at this stage, which is great. And I suppose very, very important to mention that without our sponsors, you know, these guys help make this happen.
You've got quite a lot of very cool sponsors, don't you?
Very
Like,
much so. You know, our headline sponsor this year again, for the umpteenth time, is Costantino. They've been a huge support over the years for the kitchen industry for us, and also even more so now we've launched the Bathroom Awards headline sponsor as well. So
fantastic.
yeah, no, great to have those guys on board, and obviously a big brand as well. I've been over at the factory in Malaga, and I have to say, you know, we were blown away.
Yeah, I was there recently as well. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
amazing what they do, and
Yeah,
I have to
yeah,
say, great relationship with all the guys there. So, as you know, you were a judge with me with or Sean there at the National Thailand Awards. So,
yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah,
Pleasantly surprised. It was such
yeah,
a great night.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely, and no, Sean's a great guy. But yeah, well, look, I'm just looking at my own screen here. We have Articad, you know, we have the appliance guys, Fisher and Paykel. Neff,
Yeah.
Egger, Flanagan Fittings, again, a great supporter over the years. They sponsor our trade guide every issue as well. And kitchen companies get involved as well, obviously, to sponsor the awards. We
Yeah,
have,
like you've one coming in there. I can see Christoph,
yeah, that's right.
Edgar,
Yep,
Think Kitchens,
yep.
and Uform.
Youth Form, yeah. And
Caesar
Caesar
Stone.
Stone, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So all big, well-recognized brands.
yeah,
And some people would have thought, can I be a kitchen retailer and get involved in sponsorship? As long as it doesn't cross over with anything you're wanting to enter, absolutely.
yeah.
There's great value packages there. At this stage, we've only one category left, and to my amusement, actually, it's the one that everybody wants to win. Well, it's always
No
been
way.
kind of the top retailer one, yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, I would say to anybody who, especially appliance brands, etc.,
Yeah.
what a great opportunity to get in front of the retailers and sponsor that category.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And tell me who. Okay. How?
Sorry, one thing I have to mention, sorry, I'm on the cut you
Go
off.
on, go on, go on.
We have Bodell as well, who are sponsoring our drinks reception, and we have entertainment is still available. So there's a category sponsorship available and the drinks reception. So two great opportunities.
Okay. I'd hate to be sponsoring your drink reception because that's.
Yeah, there's always a few beers had on the night. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me this, right? So, do who nominate? How do you get nominated, or do we nominate, or do they nominate themselves, or how?
Yeah, so absolutely. So the guys, apart from the Lifetime Achievement Award, you can nominate somebody else, of course. But you go on, you register your interest, and we send you out all the details and the criteria. Acknowledge that you've registered for all the other categories. In terms of, I know you'd asked me this previously. The guys that want to enter, say for instance they do bespoke joinery, things like that, they do have to be within a studio in Ireland. So
Okay.
but if they are the designer or affiliated with a studio, for instance, if
Yeah.
they are the designer, they can enter, absolutely.
So,
So
so just to ask, 9 Yards Design, right? We would design umpteen kitchens with different joiners, etc. Can I nominate now? Not this year because I'm a judge, and obviously I would just like not be able to do that.
yeah, of course.
But just say, in the future, can I nominate, say, one of my joiners that would be after creating the kitchen design from 9 Yards, and what's
Well, essentially it would need to be the person that's designed the kitchen, not fitted it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
it would
it
be
is a
9 Yards
design
going to
project.
the okay, fantastic. So when it says like the classic design project, that's for the designer.
Yes.
Yes, okay, fantastic. I didn't realize that. I thought this was only for kitchen companies. So this is open to designers.
Yeah. So essentially, like I can read actually just when we're here.
Yeah.
So if you've got, I'm just picking contemporary design project. Who can enter? This award will honour a kitchen designer that works within an Irish kitchen studio who has created a contemporary or modern kitchen design in the past 2 years that exceeds €30,000 budget, including appliances.
Okay, so not me. So because I'm not in a kitchen design studio.
Kitchen studio.
Yes, I get you now.
Yeah.
Okay. I would design and then pass my designs onto a kitchen studio, and that if they wanted to go ahead with it, that's
Yes.
it. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, yes, I get you.
Yeah. So we've had at this stage, Adam, our media executive there. He's looking after the entries. With every category has been entered already at this stage, which is fantastic news.
Yeah,
A lot of interest this year. Again, it was put back a year because of our celebration of our 30 years of IHIL last year.
yeah,
So people are more than ready again for this to be back, and I think even the interest in the fact that all but one of the sponsors was taken within the first few weeks has been,
yeah. Well,
very telling.
what is the deadline for entering?
Deadline for entering is, I had it here in front of me. It is August 15th. Presentation to judges such as
Yeah.
yourself. Business categories are September 16th, and for design categories, September 18th. And then showroom visits are week commencing October 6th. Now, last time we had the awards because of COVID, we were dictated to a little bit, so we did some stuff remotely. We're not dictated to by, you know, getting out face to face, and so we're going back to that, which works much better. Yeah. So, you know, the judges, which this includes you, we've always been very proud of the caliber of judges. These guys have always been, you know, highly thought of in their own industries. You know, there's a running joke that Mike used to sit beside Suzanne, and it's testament to the awards, but we never found out, Mike never found out who was winning until the awards night themselves. And I even see him, I can find out a couple of weeks before, but I choose not to because I get tortured and I don't want to know. And I quite like finding out on the night as well myself. So, but every time somebody would be called as a winner, Mike would nudge Suzanne and go, "Did they advertise?" Sometimes she would say no, and he'd go, "Flip sakes, right?" But that's it. There are many winners over the years, and I mean a lot of winners that have never advertised. These are very transparent, credible awards held with great prestige. And the reason for that is the likes of yourself, a great panel of independent judges, and there's 7 in total. So
yeah, no, I'm delighted to be doing it. I really am. Like, I feel like I've won.
Well, listen, we're delighted to have you.
Thanks,
You know, on
Robert.
board with us.
Like, and do you know like what impact the Irish Kitchen Trades Awards has had on the winners in the past? Like,
Absolutely, you know, it's funny every time I am on the road. You know, anybody that has won the awards, you know, first of all, they're always in their showroom, whether it's at the window, whether it's at their reception desk. Um, they're very proud to show them off. It's always mentioned in their advertising. It'll be on their website. I mean, it naturally, you know, awards credibility. I mean, such is the standard of the awards. These are not easily won. You know, as I say, like the bathroom awards naturally will be of a higher standard next year. They can't not be. Every year it gets. I think the standard just gets better, and that's why it's such, you know, so good for the industry. But it means an awful lot to these guys. And I have to say, you know, people when they look at our consumer title, when they decide, you know, it's not an impulse purchase to buy a kitchen. You don't wake up and go out buy a kitchen today. But so they do a lot of research. We know from our reader surveys that our typical kitchen consumer will look at or visit 3 different showrooms. They'll spend €35,000 upwards with an additional 7K on appliances. They'll buy a magazine. They'll go online and they'll ask about. They'll look for referrals. So these guys, when they are doing their research, you know, quite often they'll walk in with a magazine as well. They'll have certainly had a look online. But what we do in our consumer title, Ireland's Kitchen Guide, is we take that person through that whole journey with somebody else. So they get to see how somebody else has interacted with that company. They've seen their advertisement maybe with a winner or runner-up in the awards. So there's trust in there. There's familiarity because there's a little mugshot of them at the end, who they designed the kitchen, the intricacies of that kitchen, what little problems there, nuances that they have to work around, what's the lifestyle of the family. So these are all the things that come into play when you're entering the award with your project as well, which are translated into our consumer title. So somebody gets to go on that journey before they even walk into a showroom. So the awards go hand in hand with that credibility, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does hugely. I was going to say, what can one expect on the night of the awards? What's the setup like? Is there entertainment and
always? Yeah. So we have
what's the dress code?
The dress code. It's a black tie gala event, as always.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's always an excuse to get dressed up, and a lot of funny. Myself and Suzanne were talking about it today. It's a great opportunity for a lot of businesses to have their Christmas do. You know, it can tie in, it can double up with getting the staff out for a night, you know, great crack. And it's celebrating, as I say, you know, the best that the industry has to offer. But we have a band booked for later on in the night, a 5-piece band who are great. The lead singer, toured with Sinead O'Connor. She's just been not long back from Nashville.
Fab.
Yeah, Jackie and the Sweet Beats they're called. We always have a bit of entertainment during the interval. So we are looking at that at the minute. We will have something, but yeah, there's a drinks reception, as I say, sponsored by Bodell as soon as you come in. But there's never a dull moment at the awards, put it that way.
Yeah. Bodell is a company I haven't heard of. What do they?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're in Lisburn in the north, and distributors of appliances and so on. So
Fantastic.
yeah, great
Okay.
company, and again, great supporters of the awards over the years as well.
Yeah. So and it's all like there's tables available. It's still all accessible and.
Absolutely. So I think the last awards were the biggest number that we've had. I think we had 250 people at it. I would expect that and maybe more this time round.
Great opportunity for networking, I'd say. Yeah, like
very, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've we've had a lot of handshakes and businesses done on the night, and I have to say that's something that I'm like yourself. I've watched you at your own events. You don't sit still. You're making connections, and you're very good at it. And I have to say, I always try and make that effort as well because what a great opportunity. To introduce businesses that can help each other, and that is what this is all about. It's relationship building, helping each other, celebrating the industry, and the awards night is one of the most opportune times to do that.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what we're trying to do with Design Source Ireland. You know what I mean? So this pairing is really, really good. Like to be on your judging panel going up to Belfast for an evening of entertainment with you and all your crew. Like I can't wait. So if it's anything like the National Tiling Awards, that blew my mind. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? So
and again, I said that to Sean as well. Again, that's so good for the industry. Where these guys are getting recognised, it naturally the next time the Tiling Awards happen, there's going to be a higher standard. Naturally, it will just automatically happens.
Yeah, and like who knew that at the Tiling Awards that interior designers could enter? I love that idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we work so closely with our tilers. You know what I mean? That it's fantastic to be able to nominate them with your design studio and go forward with it. Like you know what I mean? So
no, absolutely.
So I can't wait to buy the Guna. If anybody's on here and would like to help me dress for the evening, black tie, I would totally appreciate the help.
I think I have a wee bit of work to do to get into my tux this year, I have to say. But
that's
I've got time.
That's just you being loved up, Robert. Yeah.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Can't argue
with it. No, not whatsoever. Is there anything else we should be saying to our listeners that? Like we know it's going to be an amazing night. Absolutely love to see everybody there. It's going to be I
have to say the best advice from hearing people over the years who have kind of put it or say to me, I went to enter and never got around to it. Don't put it off. Register your interest. Get involved now because there's a deadline for a reason, and I would say do it sooner rather than later. It's easy to do. It's laid out nicely in terms of what's involved. There's not a lot involved. I mean, you've probably done most of the work if you're entering in a design project. It's done. All you're doing is giving us the information that you had in the first place.
How? So if I'm a kitchen company and I'm entering a project, I'd obviously need to show the background drawings or just the finished
it could be drawings. You're allowed up to 10 images of the project. A breakdown of the materials used, etc. All of that information can be found in Ireland's Kitchen Trade Guide or on iktg.ie. Just go to the awards section, it's all explained.
Fantastic.
I would also say to anybody who wants to keep up to speed with what's happening just in general in the kitchen industry, if you're not already subscribed to Ireland's Kitchen Trade Guide, which is bi-monthly, subscribe to it. It's free. It's delivered free. Your hard copy every other month. All the
Fantastic.
information. Yeah. So
That's fantastic. Yeah.
and that goes out to if you're an interior designer, you could be a flooring company. And this is the thing with kitchens now, because it's such an open space. You could be a lighting company who supplies lighting for kitchens, or you could specialize in it, or it could be, the floor, and you could be doing sofas. So if you want to keep an eye on the kitchen industry, Ireland's Kitchen Trade Guide is the only dedicated trade title in Ireland. This is the same as the awards. We're the only dedicated awards
Yeah.
for the kitchen industry in Ireland. But take advantage of getting it delivered free. There's a digital copy every month uploaded onto the website that you can look at. But sometimes it's nice to hold that hard copy at your own leisure, and it will explain how to enter and the criteria.
Yeah, well, we've got a load of comments coming in from different people there. Like, we've got people down in Cork saying they're going to book a table. So,
Great.
oh yeah, book a table.
Absolutely.
And Awnings of Ireland, we're going, will outdoor kitchens feature? Because they're actually after becoming huge, aren't they? Or are they just a total different kettle of fish this time?
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. And
Yeah.
again, COVID again, pushing people outside. I deal with a couple of companies that do high-end outdoor kitchens. So
Yeah.
that's something maybe we should really take a look at moving forward. There's no stipulation to say it needs to be indoor.
No.
So, I mean, if you wanted to enter, by all means.
Yeah.
But, if there was enough interest, I would say, I'm open to a category for outdoor kitchens, but, you always gauge the interest and so on. But, yeah, by all means.
No, sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of loads of little more categories, Robert. Loads.
Yeah, you could get carried away with it.
You could, of course.
But you know what? I mean, it's great receiving the award, but you also have to keep an eye on the running of the evening and not getting.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That it's not too long, like that.
Yeah.
You're putting bets on how long this speech is going to be, so we can get down to the real party. Yeah,
Exactly.
I get it. Well, I'm really, really excited, and like our listeners here are just typing away, going, "Great idea there for an outdoor kitchen award." Like, because there's loads of us are doing them at the moment. Like, every.
And again, I think COVID sort of pushed a lot of people to socialize outside. And a great actually example of that, clients of mine who I have to say are a pleasure to work with, Catherine and Norman McKnight. They have a company called Urban Choice in Belfast, and they do outdoor kitchens. And it came about because Norman actually has another business, and it's the gas industry, and he was at, I think, IHIL Home Show, something like that, and he was showcasing these gas fires, and he said, "Robert, footfall was amazing. We got loads of people through, great interest at the stand itself, but we got zero sales from it, and I just couldn't understand." And then it was like a light bulb went off, and he said it was because these were outdoor, by the way.
Yeah.
It was the Irish weather, and so at that point he looked into these bespoke high-end garden rooms and outdoor kitchens, and of course now he's selling the fires in these garden rooms and outdoor kitchens. So absolutely, there's a market for it. We in an Ireland's Kitchen Guide, we've done outdoor kitchen features as well. So yeah, I'm absolutely open to it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I thought we'd spend about 15 minutes. We've now been about 35 minutes.
Have we? There you are.
Yeah, we have. We've won. We won already.
Yeah, I see a wee comment there from Awnings of Ireland saying you work with a lot of interior designers. That's great. Yeah, obviously we do too. So maybe we should get chatting.
Absolutely. They're networking again. Networking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Robert, for your time. I look forward to chatting to you soon. And and thank you so much for asking me to be a judge with you guys. I'm over
Honestly,
the moon.
we're honoured to have you as a judge, and I really am genuinely delighted. And you're also great cracking a night out.
I am really. I'm like, shh, don't tell everyone, or I'll be invited to all these awards. It's a secret. It is a secret that I'm good fun.
You are. But listen, Good to chat. Thanks for
Likewise.
inviting me on, and
Thanks, Robert.
look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and listening in. It's been great. We really enjoyed having you here this evening with us. So, adios and slán go fóill. Bye,
Cheers.
Robert.
Bye.